Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's I'm going to be reviewing the Audi SQ5. Before we get into this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Audi here in Salt Lake for giving me some time with this SQ5. Link to their website in the description down below. If you have any questions, just ask for Landon. Also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a turbo 3-liter V6 that goes through an 8-speed. Fuel economy is 19 around town, 24 on the highway, with power outputs being 349 horsepower and then 369 pound-feet of torque. Now, before I move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you're going to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. Now, taking a look at the hood, you guys can see here with the raised sections there on either side, and then pretty cool with the light design there. Audi always has fun animations. Parking sensors down below. You can see the chrome here on the grille. You can get everything blacked out if you want, but you can also get silver, like what this has. Tire and wheel setup is 255 by 45 by 20, and you can see with the wheels you got that silver finish. Kind of matches the trim on the front grille. Red brake caliper, pretty cool looking. Nice body painted fender flare. You can see more of that silver trim on the side, and then you got more on the mirror caps and all of that. And if we take a few steps back, there we go, there's a side profile. This leads us to the key fob. We've got our lock and unlock function. We got the opening here for the hatch, Audi logo, S logo there on the back. And taking a look at the cargo area, you can see there's quite a bit of storage space here on the back. Got these little tabs to throw down the seats if that's your thing. But yeah, definitely a nice setup. When you're all done, just press that. That will lower the hatch right back down. Now, taking a look at the taillights, I think the design here is actually pretty cool. Look at that, how it's sequential in function. You can see with the silver trim, and then you got the chrome badges and everything, and 4 exhaust tips. Audi likes exhaust tips, but there's the rest of the rear. Now, this leads us into the rear, where you can see we've got some soft touch trim here. That's pretty cool. It goes across. I like that trim as well. And then here is the seats. Got the diamond stitching. And quickly pop in. Legroom's good, got a little storage pocket, and then you can see we've got vents here in the back, heated seats, got some little charge ports too, and then headroom back here is actually pretty darn good. Popping up front, we've got more soft touch and down below. All of our window controls here, you guys can see with the mirror adjustments and everything, they do power fold in. Got your memory seats, blind spot monitoring with the mirrors, and then here's the front seat, got that nice diamond stitching. Power adjustments on the side, light controls right here, steering wheel's power adjustable as well, and then you got fancy pedals there at the very bottom. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, you can see Audi logo front and center, you got the little S logo, well there you go, down below. Practical controls here on the front, including for the center, your heated steering wheel function, you've got your little volume control there as well, paddle shifters and all of that, and then a bunch of stocks there on the back. Now taking a look at the gauge cluster here, you can scroll through and see different bits of info. It's Audi's virtual cockpit, so it's pretty darn customizable. I think it's a pretty cool setup overall. Now in reverse, we do have a backup camera, 360 camera system. There's tons of different viewpoints that you can see out of with it. Pretty seamless system overall. And then as for the rest of the infotainment system, it's easy enough to use. Overall quick response time for the most part. Seems to pick up my finger pretty darn well. And if you go into the vehicle tab, this is where you can adjust the drive mode select. You got lots of different drive modes for both on-road and off-road use. Yes, you have an off-road mode. We got our controls for our heated seats. We've got dual zone climate with this as well. Your little drive mode selected down below. Auto stop, start, stability control, parking assist. You got your parking sensors, hill descent control, and a little USB port. Shifter for the 8-speed, volume control there off to the side. Some cup holders here, center console. Nice trim on the top. Got some soft touch here on the dash, a little Quattro logo. Regular rear view mirror, and then we've got a big sunroof. Now here's a quick look at the window sticker. You guys can see 2025 SQ5, 58,400. You got quite a few options added to this. Total MSRP, 72,375. Let's see how it performs. Well, let us set off in the SQ5. This is kind of like the, you know, the Q5 in general is kind of like the bread and butter for Audi here in the US market. I mean, you can see there's a bunch of them. And it makes sense, right? This is like a great size for a crossover where it is big enough to be able to fit stuff, but then it is still small enough to be easy to drive, and then also still be able to maintain sportiness, right? You get too big and, you know, you can still make an SUV sporty, but it's definitely harder. That's just a water, by the way. Good torque out of the V6. There's a little bit of turbo lag, but it's kind of to be expected, and it's honestly not that bad. Yeah, really smooth ride. Oops, I didn't realize the person was trying to get over. I would have been a little bit further back. Actually, California license plates. They just drive like how people drive in California. Mega aggressive. But I will say, people in Utah are also really just bad. California drivers, they're aggressive. Utah drivers, bad. Anyways, seats are pretty comfortable overall. And I do like this interior. I think that some of it kind of feels plasticky nowadays, but it ain't too bad. It ain't too bad at all. That's for sure. Yeah, suspension's pretty good. I'd say decently dialed in. Yeah, good torque overall. It moves. And the braking progression's nice. It's not too harsh at all. I'd say it gets the job done as expected, as you'd want. That's the way that I would put it. Let's pop this into... Oh, it's already in dynamic. Let's pop it into auto for a second, and then we'll go back to dynamic. Smooth ride. See, Audis are, I would say, more luxe compared to like a BMW in some ways. They just do a really good job with the comfort side of things, where they make it so that you can just you can turn the Audi into like a boring daily driver car, which I don't think is a bad thing, right? Having something that's like always on edge can be kind of obnoxious at times, so having it to where you can kind of dial things back quite a bit is nice. That in itself is luxury. Yeah, dynamic definitely dials things up, that's for sure. I do like the perforated trim on the steering wheel. I think that it makes it feel a little bit sportier too. At minimum, it makes it so the steering wheel doesn't feel so dull, right? There's something happening. Ooh, yeah, you get little pops out of the exhaust. That's pretty fun. Sounds pretty darn good. Audi Presense. I'm not gonna hit into anyone. It's like, you are going to crash. Oof, yeah, that's nice. Little pop there at the end. That's pretty fun. So, to sum things up here with the Audi, the only downside with this, I would say, is the steering's a little bit wishy-washy. It's not horrible, but it is a little bit wishy-washy. Oh, of course, as soon as I'd come up to a stop, the light's like, done. That's funny. So yeah, let me guys think about the SQ5. I think it's a great all-around car. The only thing I could knock it for is, and it's just an Audi thing, they make their steering just a little bit too light. Just a little bit too light, but it's not a deal breaker.